Kayode Alayonde has the sports news tonight.
Thank you very kindly, Gimba. Welcome to Sports News. The Nigeria Women Premier League have exported more footballers to top leagues in Europe in the last 1 year. With the lack of sponsorship for the league, players and coaches are worried that this might delay the start of the league, making it difficult for proper planning and playing fewer games. This report, put together by Cecilia Morigwe, takes a look at the state of women's football here in Nigeria and the matters arising.
The Nigeria Women Premier League, NWPL, organized by the Nigeria Women Football League, NWFL, is rated as the best in Africa, with 14 professional clubs that have produced the best players on the continent. Last season, the league witnessed just 6 weeks before the Super Four that determines the winner. The reason for this is obvious.
I think without moral support and financial support, she cannot do anything. They have to support that lady. It's not easy. She has tried her best. I think she has been going around looking for sponsors. She has really tried, but playing 3-4 matches is not good for any team.
Before South Africa announced the start of a Women National League, a grant of 10 million rand, which is over 250 million naira, was given by the country's football federation for its takeoff, including a monthly grant to clubs, accommodation and transportation until the league has its own sponsor. While the South African Sports Ministry also supported the league with 5 million rand, that's over 125 million naira. Is the NWPL receiving such support? What is the role of the NFF in growing the league? Even after the league board introduced more glamorous events like the Super Four that determines the league champions and also the Champions Shield.
The two companies I spoke to about the leagues have arranged a meeting with all the leagues. They are going to meet with this very big company, and also spoke to a couple of people. And trust me, by the end of January, you hear something big.
The little things we want now to do, the core of it, is investing in women's football. That is what is still missing.
While anxiously awaiting sponsorship for the league, clubs have resumed camp and even playing friendlies in anticipation of a date for the new season. All they want is to play more matches and have a calendar.
The league board members should increase the number of matches that we do play. But I would prefer we play a round-robin game.
Let us have a calendar. At the beginning of the season, we know when we are starting the season, we know we are stopping it, we know when the next season is going to start.
With Sudan and Ghana joining the League of Countries with viable women's league, the NWFL must continue to strive to be the benchmark and reference point for successive leagues, not just in Africa, but across the world.
Well, we cannot wait for a better day for women's football. Now, Nigeria international Kelechi Iheanacho's close-range finish after 4 minutes was just enough to send Leicester through to the English FA Cup fifth round in a battling 1-0 win over Brentford at Griffin Park earlier today. It's Iheanacho's 7th goal in 12 appearances this season, and his 9th in 9 FA Cup starts. Both Newcastle and Tottenham were forced to an unwanted replay after draws in their fourth-round ties, while West Ham were knocked out by 10-man West Brom. Spurs were heading to the fifth round after Son Heung-min puts them ahead just before the hour mark, but substitute Buffal came off the bench to fire home in the 87th minute. Second-half goals from Grant Hanley and Josip Drmic sent Norwich into the FA fifth round for the first time in 8 years with a 2-1 win at Burnley. Well, that will be up all on Sports News. Thank you very much for watching. Back to you again.
Chinese President Xi Jinping says that the country is facing grave situations as the spread of the deadly coronavirus is accelerating. The coronavirus has killed at least 41 people and infected some 1,400 since its discovery in the city of Wuhan.
More than 50 million people are spending Lunar New Year under lockdown as China expands its travel restrictions in an attempt to stop the spread of the new coronavirus. Across mainland China, travelers are having their temperatures checked for signs of fever, and train stations have been shut in several cities. In Hong Kong, the highest level of emergency has been declared and school holidays extended. The city is treating 5 coronavirus patients, and more than 100 others are suspected of having the viral pneumonia. The virus has spread to Malaysia, Nepal and Australia, which confirmed its first 4 cases on Saturday.
The Australian government, of course, has been taking this issue incredibly seriously. We have activated all the necessary precautions and procedures that are in place.
On Friday, France confirmed Europe's first case with 3 patients. Further cases have been reported in South Korea, Japan, Singapore, Macau, Taiwan, Thailand and Vietnam. The US has reported its second case. A growing number of airports around the world have introduced screening to identify those affected, although the effectiveness of such measures has been questioned. The new virus causes severe acute respiratory infection. Symptoms seem to start with a fever, followed by a dry cough, and then, after a week, lead to shortness of breath, and some patients need in-hospital treatment. There is no specific cure or vaccine, but based on research, it's believed that only a quarter of infected cases are severe, and the dead are mostly, though not exclusively, older people, some of whom have pre-existing conditions.
And the main news again, residents of Sabun Tasha and Juji communities in Chikun local government area of Kaduna State today protested the abduction of the wife and 2 children of a medical doctor from its residence in the late hours of yesterday. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed for being a part of it. On behalf of all of us here, have a splendid night and good night.